Most small business owners don't even realize they are doing this. They plan their goals around a version of their life that doesn't really exist. They plan it around a calm week, a week where they have the best energy and all the motivation. There is no surprises at all. And if that sounds familiar, this episode matters more than you think, because here is what an ideal week usually looks like in someone's head. You'll be able to sit down uninterrupted and get on with whatever it is you want to do. You will have time to focus properly. You'll be able to make consistent progress on what it is that help you to get to those end results that you're focusing on. And you will finally be able to catch up on the weeks or months that you have been feeling behind on. But then what happens? Your actual week happens, where you start getting emails, customer issues, supplier problems, life stuff that you just didn't plan for. And then suddenly, the plan that you originally set out to achieve feels unrealistic, and at worst, it feels annoying. And this is the point that most small business owners miss when they come to set goals and create plans for themselves. Because when you only plan for what works in perfect conditions, doesn't stand a chance at all. So this is what happens instead. You start falling further behind. You start feeling frustrated. You start telling yourself, oh, you know what? I'll reset next week. And you start beating yourself up because it's another week that you've fallen behind on. It's another week where you go, oh, I wish things could just change for me. And before you know it, that next week where you've pushed yourself back to becomes next month. And over time, this does real damage, not just to your goals, but to the way that you trust yourself, the way that you go, actually, can I achieve this? Because every time you abandon a plan, even quietly, right, and even if it's just a small plan, your brain files it away and it says to yourself, right, I don't really follow through, do I? I always start something and never actually finish it. And that's dangerous in business because we don't want you to stop trying. We don't want you to stop believing that your effort will ever pay off. And this was a massive wake-up call for me in my business, right? I kept blaming myself for not sticking to that original plan that I set out to achieve. When the truth was, the plan that I had created didn't really respect my reality and what my life was going to be like day to day. Once I accepted that busy weeks were normal, things were going to come and distract me, things were going to come and happen, and people were going to need my attention, well, then I realized that I wasn't failing. It changed how I set my goals. Then it actually changed my entire approach to my business as well. So here is what I need you to hear clearly today. You don't need a plan that works on your best ever weeks. You need a plan that survives your worst ones that are consistent throughout. So every single day, you are managing to stay focused on an action, regardless of how many people come at you, how many emails you get, how many people complaining you have, how many things that want your attention. You are still capable of fitting in an action to help you to get to your end result. Because consistency doesn't come from being perfect. It comes from doing stuff around a real life. And we just, we just need you to finally be consistent and consistent on focusing on one thing at a time. So here's what a realistic plan looks like. It assumes interruptions. It expects days where you have got little to no energy. It allows your progress to even be a little bit uneven. An unrealistic plan assumes that you're going to have perfect focus every single day. An unrealistic plan assumes that you're going to have perfect discipline and you are going to be able to do this all the time. An unrealistic plan assumes that you're going to have perfect timing. And that is why I see so many plans fail, because people are doing it and they're creating them around things that just are not realistic, they're not able to achieve, and then everything else starts crumbling away. So here is something really important I want you to do before you plan anything else. I want you to think about a genuinely busy week in your business. Not a great week, not a week where everything goes according to plan, not a week where you go, yes, I'm on top of the world, I can do everything. I want you to think of a week where you have demanding customers, where you've got stock issues, where you know what, or you've got website issues, okay? And then ask yourself, what could I realistically move forward in that week without everything else falling apart? How much time would I have to actually realistically put towards focusing on one goal? Because that answer that you give to yourself there is where your progress is going to start. And this is exactly why I teach goal setting a little bit differently to the way other people might be. Not to help you to plan bigger so it satisfies your ego. Although I believe in big goals, I believe in stretching yourself, but doing it within the realms of what is really possible. I don't want to help you to do things just because you feel it's something you have to do because you're comparing yourself to somebody else. I want you to help you to do something and plan for yourself in an honest way that only stretches you as far as what you are really capable of going, and knowing that you can leave there and say, you know, I'm capable of doing this. I actually feel excited about achieving this because I know it's in my realm of possibility. I am not just plucking a number out of the sky going, I'm going to achieve that this year and just hoping everything magically falls in place. No, this is about going, okay, what worked last year? What worked the year before that? What actually, how was the difference? How busy have I actually been up until this point? Have there been fluctuations in my business? Have there been things that are going well or not going well? How can we then create a plan moving forwards based on the past history of what it is that you have been able to achieve? And if you're brand new in business, we look at it in a slightly different way. We help you to understand where you are, what you're at, what you're good at doing, and the things that you know you're not so good at doing, and then understanding, okay, what is possible for you to achieve within a certain time frame. And that time frame is usually 90 days, because 90 days is just long enough for you to have real impact and for you to focus on a particular goal, and knowing that you can do everything that you can to get the result that you need at the end of it. If your plans keep falling apart, it's probably not because you're inconsistent. It's because you've been planning for a version of your life that you don't actually live. I want you to plan for reality, and then you will be surprised at how much easier follow through really becomes. And if you want help knowing exactly how to create goals you will actually achieve, and you want spreadsheets that can be easily filled in to help you sustain your momentum, and check out the link below this video. I'll put in a course there for my a link there for my mini course that will show you how to do that. And if you want to go one step further and have my eyes on your business and create a real plan for your next 90 days, there'll be another link under there as well that will show you how we can work together so that you can really focus. All I want is for you to have the best year in your business that you can possibly have. I assume that's what you want as well. So what we need you to do is create a clear focus point, and you stay focused on that goal. Okay? If you need anything else, just get in touch. But otherwise, I'll see you next week.